Tonight, our profile of Matt Castelli, running for Congress in the 21st Congressional District. The former CIA officer and director for counterterrorism sat down with 7 News reporter Zach Grady while out on the campaign trail.
So when we see politicians who are willing to put party and their own self-interest, their careers ahead of country and community, that is really what's wrong with Washington right now.
Matt Castelli says he's a moderate. The Democratic candidate hopes a return from the extremes of right and left will resonate with voters. Enough so that he can unseat Congresswoman Elise Stefanik in New York's 21st Congressional District.
We need a moderate, someone who's going to bring us together to actually solve problems, not create problems. We need someone who's going to represent all of us.
A recent ABC News and Washington Post poll lists the economy and inflation as top concerns for voters heading into the midterm elections. Additionally, hot-button topics in the 21st Congressional District have included individual freedoms like gun and reproductive rights.
I'm going to fight to defend our freedoms, like a woman's right to control her own body and healthcare decisions, and the Second Amendment. And I'm going to fight to make sure that we have safety and security for everyone. Yes, that's funding our law enforcement and securing our border, but it's also about defending our democracy, making sure our military and our veterans have the resources they need, and making sure we have health security that comes from access to health care, or job security and economic security.
While the Democratic candidate Castelli says he will be voting for Governor Kathy Hochul this year, that doesn't necessarily mean he agrees with all of her policies.
As a gun owner myself, as someone who strongly supports the Second Amendment, swore an oath to the Constitution to protect and defend our Second Amendment rights, I think a lot of the recent gun legislation was passed too hastily and didn't have the input of law-abiding gun owners like myself, those who represent the upstate New York region and the North Country, to actually shape it in such a way that it could be effective.
When our questions for Castelli ended, he had one of his own for the voters in New York's 21st.
Well, to ask them the question, do they feel as if they've been well served over the last 8 years? Do they feel that they've been better, that they're better off now, today, than 8 years ago, before Elise Stefanik came into office?
Election Day is Tuesday, November 8th, with early voting having already started across the North Country. Both of our conversations with Matt Castelli and Congresswoman Elise Stefanik can be found on our website, www.wwnytv.com. Zach Grady, 7 News.